When I was 16 years old, I had a job valet parking. I was working a job with one other employee, and she was a girl. Towards the end of our shift, an older man came up to valet park his car. And when he looked at me and the girl that was valet parking with me, he tossed me the keys and said, "Make sure you drive my car." I said nothing after that. Right after it happened, the girl and I were so caught off guard that we didn't know what to say to each other. I think what I did, which is what I normally do, is I tried to kill it with a joke. Even though I knew it was a very serious situation, I just wanted to be an ally and let her know that I was on her side. But what I didn't do was really talk to her and see if she was okay by the situation. This video roughly depicts what happened on that day. I am being played by my friend Jason, and the female Parker is being played by my cousin Claire. I personally am playing the older driver. We were just standing there, outside, waiting for cars to come up. A car finally came up about an hour before we were ending our shift. When the man finally got up to the valet booth, me and the other Parker welcomed him like we normally would. When we got to his window, he looked at both of us, each up and down, and said out loud so she could hear, "Make sure you drive my car." This man was obviously sexist, and this display was a microaggression towards women. While it is clear that this man has a problem with women, there is much more wrong with what he said than that. While it is customary for people to adopt multiple sociological theories to understand an inequality, such as gender inequality, this man clearly had a strictly negative functionalist view on gender inequality. He is likely to think, like Talcott Parsons would, that she would be better suited for an expressive role where there is emotional support provided, and that I, a man, would be better suited to drive his car because it is an instrumental role, when in reality, she was just as qualified to drive his car as I was. What allows for this to go on in society is gender role socialization, or the idea that there are things better suited for females than males, or vice versa. In schools, girls are rewarded for hard work, while boys are rewarded for talent, which weakens some girls' self-esteem to stereotype threat. This applies to the situation because the man would likely think that I, a man, have some raw ability to drive his car, while the female would need to work harder to keep up with me. Although not everyone thinks this way, this man is perpetuating the stigma attached to females in the workplace that they are worth less. The pressure of stereotype threat on the girl working with me is also something that could perpetuate this problem. She may be less likely to intervene in a future microaggression, as she may believe what she has been told in the previous one. What perpetuates this problem more than anything else in society is when people are not true allies to other people when they need them to be. Although I was nice to the girl after the fact, I was not truly there for her during it, nor did I ask her some of the more crucial questions to make sure that she was okay after it. Assuming that I wouldn't get fired from my job, if I could go back, right after the guy said what he said to me, I would take the keys and I would toss them to the girl and say to the man that I'm going to make sure that she parks her car and pulls it up. If I say nothing at all, like I did, then I'm essentially saying what the man did was okay. If you're not an ally, then you're allowing the problem to continue. I cannot change who the man is on the inside, but what I can do is let him know that his actions are not okay and that they are not tolerated. Aside from social control in our schools, gender inequality is continued through a wage gap. Although the girl I was working with was paid the exact same as me, the systematic inequality in our country is likely to make the girl feel that her job is more trivial, allowing her less room to stand up for herself in a situation like this.